Alright, welcome back to the Best Daily Driver. This is a series where I kind of go over different vehicles as a possible next daily driver for me. Our current front runner is the Genesis GV80. It barely edged out the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk for me. The issues of reliability, the unupdated interiors out of the SRT Trackhawk, and the price point for what they want, it's still a little bit out of my reach, I think. So I'm going with the Genesis GV80. Now, if you want to go over those breakdowns, videos will be up in this upper left and you can go back and check them out. Today's video, we're looking at the CT4V Blackwing. I wish I could include the CT5 Blackwing because to me, that is the perfect size, but it's a little bit out of my price range at $100,000 and I don't see them dropping in price anytime soon. So we're going with the CT4 Blackwing, the little brother. CT4 Blackwing starts at $60,000 and goes up in price from there, depending on options you add. It comes in a V6 twin turbo that puts out about 475 horsepower. It also comes in a manual gearbox or automatic. In a time where a lot of cars are going to straight automatic, you can still get this in a manual, which is a good plus for it. The 0 to 60 times for this car is around high 3 seconds. This is a pretty fast car. Let's get started with the pros of this car. GM went all out on this car. They really made a true driver's car. They wanted to make the end of an era. These kind of cars are going away. These high horsepower V6 and V8 cars, they're just not being made like they used to, all because of increasing fuel and environmental issues. So GM really put everything into this car to make an ultimate driver's car. A huge plus for this car in my opinion. Now in terms of performance, the CT4 Blackwing has more than I will personally ever need. I don't even know if I'll ever even use the full potential of this car, let alone if I went the CT5 Blackwing. That I would never touch with its 600, 700 horsepower. But even this younger brother of the CT5 Blackwing has way more performance than I would ever need. It would fulfill that performance need that I feel I need out of a daily driver. Another big pro of this is American luxury. Maintenance costs for everyday type stuff should be on the cheaper side compared to the Europeans, where you have to kind of spend an arm and a leg for oil changes and things that they may need. I personally have never owned a Cadillac automobile, so it'd be cool to go into a different brand that I've never owned. Now let's go on to some cons though. The size. This is relatively the size of a BMW M3, which is on the smaller side for, you know, where I am at my life. I have 3 kids and the 150-pound beast. I have to make the choice. Do I want to take the dog with me and leave the kids at home, or bring the kids and leave the dog at home? This is not a hauler, you know, it's more just for 1, 2 adults, maybe 1 or 2 kids. I don't even think I could fit all 3 of my kids in this car. That is a big con. It is a smaller car. I wish I could get the CT5 Blackwing. That would fulfill everything. Another con for this car is the interior. GM went all out, like I said earlier, but they went all out in the performance. They have to cut corners somewhere. The interiors are a little bit left to be desired when you're paying $70K, $75K for an optioned out one of these cars. This is not a bad interior, it's just nothing to write home about. And you can find some of these interiors inside some Chevys. Trucks, nothing wrong with those trucks are amazing, but when you're paying $70,000 for some of the interiors you see on lower end cars, it's not a good look. They should have maybe spent a little bit more on the interior. Not a deal breaker, but it is a con for me. Now, this is a big thing. Coming from California, but now living in Portland, Oregon, this is a rear wheel drive vehicle, meaning not all wheel drive like an Audi. I'll have to keep that in mind. I will probably have to store winter tires and change them during the winter. That means going to a shop, putting it on a lift, having them change it for me. Coming from coastal California and now living in Oregon, that is a big change for me. I've never had to store tires and switch them during the different seasons. I don't know what driving a rear wheel drive vehicle during icy slick roads would be like. I don't know if I'll be Tokyo drifting all over the place or if it's not really a concern. For those of you who live in those kind of states that have snow and ice, let me know if it's actually something I should worry about or if I'm overthinking it. GM knocked it out of the park with this vehicle. We have to support these kind of vehicles because they are becoming obsolete.